All right, good evening. We're here with Honey Pat, as we are every second and fourth Wednesday. We're here also with Connie. She's going to be our taste tester and also our question asker. So if you have any questions at all, go ahead and put something in the comments, and I will be looking at that and asking Pat so she can answer those questions live. Welcome. Thanks for coming. Take it away.
Okay.
I'm Reverend PJ, by the way.
Yes. These are my friends, Connie Anderson and PJ Stanley, who just happens to be our minister. So,
Right.
Well, we're going to have the Brazilian shrimp, and I'm going to do various things in different stages. And in order to save time, I've already put in the olive oil, the onions, the green pepper, and the olive oil. And it calls, if you'll notice, it calls for a jalapeno that's been seeded, and it's just halved because we want to take it out at the end. So we'll put that in there and stir it around. Is that showing up?
It is showing up.
Okay. I'm going to turn the heat up a little bit, because once it gets to this stage, and by the way, this is the great dish for you to make for a dinner party, because it makes you look like a genius, and the truth is, it's so easy. You have your vegetables chopped before people come, and you can do it to this stage where you've sauteed the vegetables. Now we're going to add the tomatoes. Ply your guests with wine, and yourself, by the way. And then in just less than a half an hour, all this is done, dinner party ready. So this is 1 can of diced tomatoes. So you diced tomatoes. See that?
I saw that.
Okay, we're going to turn this up high because we want these tomatoes to cook down before we go to the next stage. And now it's time for the rice. Connie's going to rinse the rice for me. The reason we're rinsing the rice is because it washes away the starch, and it keeps your rice from getting gummy. This way it's just, you can fluff it up.
Okay.
Now the way that I cook the rice is I saute onions in a little olive oil. Can you see that, PJ?
Bring that back down just a little bit. Okay, there we go.
Okay.
No, sorry, I was bringing it down. You can keep it up.
Okay.
Okay.
And I put the salt in at this stage because the salt helps the onions sweat. So you do that in the beginning. And now we're going to throw the rice in there. Thank you, Connie.
Thank you.
And we're going to stir that around. That was 1 cup of rice. And when you cook rice, it's 1 portion the rice and 2 portions of whatever liquid we're going to use. So let's turn that heat up.
Now you've got the heat up on both of them?
Yes. When we get the rice assimilated, we're going to then move that back and let it just sit while the rest of the meal cooks. And so I'm going to turn the back burner on low.
Okay.
And get it ready. You want to hear that rice sizzle so that we know it's cooking. This way the oil and the onion and the salt gets all inside the rice. And since you don't have starch on the rice, then it has no barrier to go through.
Okay.
So the rice then gets totally flavorful. Just a little while longer. Okay, looks like that's enough. And now I've got 2 cups of chicken broth.
Okay.
Now I'm going to put in there. Can you hear that sizzle now?
Yep.
That rice?
Yeah, definitely.
And the way to cook foolproof rice is to do it this way, where you bring it to a boil, and then you push it back on to the back of the stove on simmer, and then it absorbs all the liquid while you're fixing the rest of the dinner. And so it's perfect timing.
So what do you cook it, 15, 20 minutes on
So
simmer?
about 20 minutes.
About 20
And
minutes
that's
on
just
simmer?
about how long. Now you can see that the tomatoes are getting ready to boil here. We want those to cook down so there's very little liquid.
Okay.
The thing about jalapenos, I don't know if you know this, but they get hotter closer to the stem. So if you don't like real hot, spicy things, you can cut the jalapeno off here
Oh.
and just use the bottom portion.
Did
If
not
you
know
like
that.
it really hot, then use the whole thing. And but don't rub your eyes after you cut a jalapeno. Do as I say, not as I do.
I was gonna say.
Earlier, we were doing a little video talking about prosperity because we're going to be doing this this little video segment called Thrive Time. And we were talking about prosperity and how you, what do you do to become prosperous. And I remember when I was newly married and didn't have very much money, I really didn't know how to cook. I'd watch my mother, so I would go to the library. That was pre-cooking shows, pre-anything. So I went to the library and read cookbooks until I taught myself how to cook. And it's certainly a lot cheaper to do it this way than to order your meals from fast food places.
Yeah.
But that was in the olden days. There was no fast food places.
That's right, no microwaves.
No microwaves. I lived in South Florida. I'd come from Texas to move to South Florida, and horrors of horrors, they had no Mexican food.
That's right. They don't have any in Pennsylvania either.
I had to teach myself how to make enchiladas with canned chile. Okay. Can you hear that rice boil?
Yep.
Okay, there it goes. Stir it up. Move it to the back on simmer, and then it should be done when we're through. In this recipe for the Brazilian shrimp, you remove this jalapeno. The recipe that this came evolved from. Hello.
Hello. No calls.
Called for Scotch bonnet chilies, which is one of the hottest peppers in the world. Okay, now here comes the coconut sauce part. As you can see, the tomatoes have cooked down. So we're going to add this can of unsweetened coconut cream. If you don't want to use it all, you can save part of it and make a coconut pie, which I'm sure you're eager to do. So we just want to pour that in there. Get some of that cream in there really good. Now, I've still got it on high. If you're doing this without the pressure of the amateur cooking hour, and you have time, you can let this slow simmer for about a half an hour, but I'm eager to get it finished for you. So we're going to just put that lid on there. Thank you. One of the reasons that we put lids on food is because it forces the steam to stay inside and it cooks more quickly. And so one of the things that I like to have with this is some kind of a light salad. So we're gonna build a little salad right now. This is a citrus salad. And you can build as many as you want for each guest. You can put one lettuce leaf or two. And then you have an avocado. Take out that seed. Make sure you don't kill yourself in the process.
Never going to do that.
There's a little brown spot. I'm going to cut that out because it's ugly. Now I'm going to use a purchased dressing, a poppy seed dressing, because back in the days when I owned a restaurant, that was a dressing, I had to make it up. It was, if you're an old time
This one.
resident of Dallas, you may remember Helen Corbett.
This one.
So there is, she had this poppy seed dressing which is made with mustard, vegetable oil, sugar, and poppy seeds. But now they have it commercially, and so I just do that. And you arrange your avocado so it'll be pretty. And then I've peeled and sliced grapefruit, some orange,
Beautiful.
there. And then here's some purple onions. And what I did, I put ice over them, which is melted now, and that crisps up the onions, and it keeps them from being so strong and bitter. I do that every time I use purple
Good.
onions.
Good tip. Good tip.
All of them. I didn't.
What do you call this salad again?
I don't know what you call
It's
it.
just called salad.
It's called citrus salad.
Okay, there you go.
I just made that up. I'm sure there's somebody else has made it. As I've discovered, every recipe I've developed, someone else has done it, and I didn't know it. When I was a young girl, I thought I was going to be so smart and win a contest, and I worked and worked to learn how to make pumpkin muffins out of spice cake mix. And so I did it, and they turned out well. And then on the box, I noticed after the fact, there was a recipe for pumpkin muffins.
Hate when that happens.
And that is the story of my life. But it doesn't matter. All it matters is that you have the finished product. There you are, your poppy seed dressing.
Beautiful.
And here's some purple basil from my garden. Janet Brown, if you're watching, thank you for my plant.
And also,
But this, somehow it tastes like chocolate. I didn't know it was supposed to. So I thought, I'll just put a little of that on there. And there you have a
Beautiful.
lightweight salad that goes with this rich food.
excellent.
Here, eat that. Oh, look at it, it's bubbling and boiling. Bubble, bubble, toil and trouble.
Wow.
Better turn that baby down. Can you see? It's over my shoulder, right?
Yes, yes, you can see it.
Now here's that jalapeno I put in there. That's so it was halved like that, so we can remove it easily when it's done.
Oh, okay. Now, are there any Brazilian spices? What makes it Brazilian?
I think it's just the vegetables.
Okay.
This is from a village in Brazil, and they just used the things that they had on hand and created. I'm sure their tomatoes were tomatoes, not from Costco. But anyway, it's the coconut milk.
Right, the coconut.
I'm sure somebody climbed a tree, cracked a coconut. That's nasty. Yeah, that looks like it's getting just right. Now what I'm going to do is take some of this out. because Reverend PJ and I don't really care for the shrimp part.
Right.
So we're going to take ours out, and it'll be vegetarian. And you get to make a choice, one or the other.
Sure.
So where's my little? So let's take some of that out. Now what I did for the shrimp part, early this morning, and I use frozen shrimp. I'm sure if you're really a gourmet, you'll go and get the new shrimp right from Galveston, Texas. But I got my frozen shrimp from Kroger's.
Okay.
I put it in this baggie frozen. I added about 2 cloves of garlic all mushed up and the juice of 2 limes. And I marinated in that while it defrosted. And then I just recently emptied out the extra juice
And how long was that? When did you put it in? This morning?
this morning.
Okay.
Or you can do it overnight, the night before. But like I said in the beginning, all this can be prepared beforehand.
Okay.
And you're here drinking your wine, talking with your friends, and you're making this marvelous dish, and it's so easy. Let's take that jalapeno out. You could just chop up the jalapeno along with the green pepper. And we're going to put the shrimp in there until it's pink.
Okay.
If you want to cook it too long, or it'll be like rubber, nasty.
So you're gonna put the garlic and everything in there, you're just gonna
Right.
empty that bag.
Yeah, there's still a little lime juice left. There. We'll cook that until the shrimp get nice and pink. I'm gonna put this glass top on it, that way we can keep an eye on it and make sure that it doesn't look rubbery or whatever. Hello.
Now that 1 cup of rice, how many does that serve?
This
Uh-huh.
would be enough for a family dinner or another couple. It'd be
Okay.
enough for a small meal. But it's certainly easy enough to increase the quantities and have it for a big group. It's good in the crock pot. You can make this sauce and put the crock pot on warm, take it to your destination, but keep the shrimp in the baggie, and then just before serving, wherever you are going, then add the shrimp at the last minute.
Like about 5 minutes before you're gonna serve?
Yeah.
Okay.
Now, do you see that, how it's staying fluffy and absorbed the
Turn it this way.
liquid?
Hang,
That.
turn it this way so I can, this way.
Okay.
Oh, there you go. Yeah, okay, nice and fluffy.
Never knew that.
Hmm?
Never knew that. Always let my water come to a boil and then stick my rice in.
Well, so if you just use water and rice is sort of bland,
Yeah,
Right.
it's like, why am I eating this?
pretty much.
Okay, now here's some chopped cilantro that I'm gonna add at the last minute. Thank you. I'll show you how it looks when you bring it on the plate. I always serve this with little dishes of sliced lime and unsweetened coconut. You can, that way the guests can choose yes or no. That's what they want to do.
What kind of rice is that? Is it basmati or long grain or what kind of rice?
Long grain rice.
Long grain.
With this method of cooking, it really doesn't matter because it's going to stay fluffy. But this is long grain rice. There's my,
Scooper?
yeah, the ladle. Thank you. There you have it. This is everybody's favorite. I don't know of anybody that doesn't like it. PJ and I like this, but we just don't care for the shrimp. It's not bad shrimp, it's just, I like it just the vegetables.
Correct.
There's some coconut, a squeeze of lime, a little salad. Okay. And there you have it.
All right, tip it up. And you want to give a shout out to Jean?
Jeans?
Jean, you know that Jean? The salad?
Eastwood.
Thank you.
Eastwood
Well,
what?
Okay, yes. Gina Eastwood, we're glad you're home from the hospital. It is so exciting to know that you're feeling better and your pacemaker is working. And Helen Howard, I wish you were here. I know our new church is gonna be closer to where you are. And everybody, we miss your physical presence and we'll all be back together soon.
Absolutely.
And there you have tonight's meal.
Boom. Done.
I don't know what I'm gonna fix next week. but-
Mwah, mwah, mwah. Excellent. Thank you. And that is Cooking with Honey Pat. All right. Thank you so much.
Okay.
Beautiful.